so tired of just having bread and broccoli. Like, teach us how to do other things.
Yeah, I feel like you teach a man to fish, he'll go ahead and show 10 more men how to fish. But if you teach a man how to fake it to make it, then you're going to have a whole bunch of people that's not correcting it. What's good, y'all? It's the Demouchets React, and we're back with another video. Who we got today, C?
Today we're back with another American reaction.
You heard it.
We're super excited about this video, guys. If you're new to us
and we're new to you,
make sure you scroll down,
hit the red subscribe button,
and turn on the post notification bell
because we're on the road to 50K.
And we cannot get there without you guys, alright? Without further ado, let's get into the video.
Imagine you're playing a game of Monopoly. Everyone begins with $1,500, and as you travel around the board, players compete to purchase properties of varying prices, from Old Kent Road at $60 all the way up to Mayfair at $400. The aim is then to own a complete set of properties and purchase houses and hotels in order to charge other players rent and ultimately bankrupt them, eliminating them from the game. However, you've made some pretty bad decisions and things aren't going very well at all. So what do? Do you play on and simply hope for the best? Do you flip the board over in a fit of rage, sending tiny pieces of plastic and metal flying around the living room? Or do you sneak away when nobody's looking and print more money?
Yeah, I used to be B, but then I tried to go find a way to make more money, so I used to be C. What was A? Go back and try again?
Keep going and hope for the best.
And now I'm in a lifespan of my, in season of our life where we are at. I'm going to say we are that we know for sure that faith works when you have a true vision.
Right.
That you know you can accomplish something.
Right. When you believe in yourself.
When you believe in yourself.
I think
Facts.
I would do A. Keep going,
Yeah. Yeah. Were you ever a B? What about a C?
Go fake it till you make it? No. Go print more money.
Okay, print more money. It's not fake it till you make it for me. Because I picked C. I said I was going to go out there and just make a quick hustle up. You feel me?
They say go print more money.
I'll have the money come to me in another
fake
way.
It till you make it.
I think that's another way to go make the money.
I'm going to do A.
Yeah, I'm going to stick with A. But wait, nobody over here faking nothing. I'm not trying to... You feel me?
Let's suppose you pick the latter and print yourself a nice round sum of $10,000. Suddenly the game's most valuable property, with its highest potential rent of $2,000, seems like pocket change to you. And as you navigate the board, carelessly landing on owned properties and paying their rent with ease, the overall quantity of money present in the game increases. Now everyone has more money, not just you, but there's fundamentally still the same amount of goods available. And because of this, the purchasing power of your money falls, and in response, the cost of everything rises.
So basically what he's saying is that if I have $20 and Sierra has 40, I would give Sierra $10 out of my 20, take a 20 from her, and we both making money.
Okay. Monopoly.
That's not right.
Monopoly.
I don't think I said that right. You still be short $10.
You'll be short. Not me.
I'll have 40.
Say it again.
I will have, if I have $20 and you have 40,
you'll take,
I would take out a 10 out of my 20 and give it
50.
to you. Now you got 50, and then I would take a 20 from you. Now I got 40. And you have
30.
That's wrong. No, they don't take notice to that advice.
Road is now worth $120, double what it used to be, and Mayfair is now $800. The money you have is now worth less than it was, and everything has gone up in price. But don't worry, you can just print more money, this time $50,000. But the same thing happens again. There's a lot more money floating around in the game, and so it loses its purchasing power. Old Kent Road now costs $1,500, and Mayfair has reached an enormous 5 figures. And yeah, you might physically have a lot more money, but it's worth significantly less. And so you print more and more and more. $100,000, $250,000, $500,000, and as its purchasing power falls and prices rise to match, that number just gets bigger and bigger. 1 million, 10 million, 100 million, and then you hit 10 figures. 1 billion, 10 billion, 100 billion. You get the idea. Well, this is called hyperinflation, if a little oversimplified, and it's more or less what happened in Zimbabwe in the late 90s and early 2000s. The government had made a series of bad decisions and introduced some alarmingly short-sighted policies, the most prominent of which being land reform. The president, Robert Mugabe, seized white-owned farms and gave control of them to black Zimbabweans in the hope of addressing the wrongs of British colonial rule. However, most of these new owners knew almost nothing about farming, and production subsequently plummeted. There was significantly less food, and the population was starving. And what's more, Mugabe had debts and ridiculous expenses of his own, and no money with which to pay them. So like in our game of Monopoly, Mugabe came up with the bright idea of simply printing more money. But as we've already seen, now there was just more money chasing the same finite amount of goods, which meant its purchasing power fell. A loaf of bread might have cost, say, $1, but now cost $5. Printing more money hadn't magically addressed the lack of bread, just increased its price. But nonetheless, he printed more and more money, and soon it got so extreme that the cost of bread was now in the thousands, and then the tens of thousands, and then the hundreds of thousands.
You playing.
The cost of bread. You know what?
Nah.
That's kind of like what we're dealing with. Well, now we're kind of going under, out of
Are you going with gas?
Gas and houses.
And housing. Yes,
Inflation.
Yeah. Inflation was
Like,
terrible.
Ooh.
Man.
Jeez,
Gas was terrible.
Imagine bread being $10,000. Like, is that an exaggeration or was it like $10,000?
That gotta be a realistic thing for them.
Ooh.
He printed money so quickly and in such vast quantities that it devalued with unimaginable speed. We're talking days or even hours. As money flooded the market and costs dramatically increased, people were desperate to get rid of their cash as quickly as they possibly could, because even that evening it could be worth half of what it was in the morning. And yet the government kept on going. And whilst the banknotes grew in number of zeros, their purchasing power plummeted even quicker, and the cost of everything skyrocketed to match. Bread now costs literally millions, but even then it just kept on going. And soon those millions turned into billions, and then into trillions.
When it was gonna
as
stop?
ridiculous and disastrous as it may have.
So why not invest the money into the people and teach them how to correctly farm?
Right.
You're going to continue to print money and increase food prices, and people are going to starve and start fighting each other because they can't afford what you're selling.
Right.
It don't make sense.
And people tired of just having bread and broccoli. Like, teach us how to do other things.
Yeah, I feel like you teach a man to fish, he'll go ahead and show 10 more men how to fish. But if you teach a man how to fake it to make it, then you're going to have a whole bunch of people that's not correct in the head.
But I
They're not
mean,
gonna
you
be
know,
up to spar.
it was the right thought.
It was a good idea. It was.
It was, but I mean, we should have stopped.
Why? I don't know if I missed it. He may have said it, but why continue to create money or print money out when you seen that it wasn't really making an impact that you was looking for?
Right. It keep devaluing, like it's going down. The value of their dollars was going down.
Maybe because the money was benefiting him more.
Was it?
If he can print money, I mean, come on, I think about it.
He said people was trying to get rid of their cash.
Because they wanted the food.
Out of the whole fiasco were born some pretty unique banknotes. Now, I do need to thank banknoteworld.com for providing these notes. They came in this cool presentation folder, and although this isn't a sponsored video, they did send me these for free, for which I am very grateful. They even have a super interesting YouTube channel themselves. The first is a $10 trillion bill. That's 13 zeros. And as well as a lot of zeros, the front of the note also features the Chiremba Balancing Rocks, a naturally occurring geological wonder near the country's capital, Harare. These rock formations are incredible and are intended to represent environmental protection, development and prosperity for the country, something they spectacularly fell short of. The front also features a Zimbabwe bird in colour-changing ink, the national emblem of Zimbabwe as seen on the country's flag, and towards the left, there's a security strip again in colour-changing ink, repeating RBZ, the Reserve Bank of Zimbabwe. In terms of microprint, there's not really a lot going on, as can only be expected of a banknote mass-produced on such short notice. But interestingly, the only microprint I could see appears to have a typo. The border of the rectangle to the right of the rocks is made up of tiny numbers, which actually read 100 trillion, not 10 trillion. Again, I'd imagine this is a product of the rush nature of these notes. On the right of the note, there's a feature called the see-through register, where the denomination is partially printed on the front and the remainder on the reverse, so that when held up to a light source, the image is complete.
Oh.
It's a security feature which makes them harder to counterfeit, as criminals have trouble lining the two sides up accurately. And lastly, there's an underprint image of a cow and some wheat grains, seen more easily when exposed to UV light. On the reverse, there's an image of the Reserve Bank of Zimbabwe's headquarters, the country's tallest building at 120 metres in height, in stark contrast to the ruins of Great Zimbabwe shown on the right. Great Zimbabwe was the country's capital, built almost a millennium ago, but was abandoned and fell into ruin in the 15th century. The 50 trillion is almost identical on the front, except for
he went all the way up to the 50 trillion.
Like, y'all printing money up that people would like. Oh my god, people can get their hands on that. Like that amount of money, they'll go crazy. Like,
yeah, I wonder, like, when did it stop?
That's a good question.
I just want to know, when did it stop? Like, when did it click? Like, hey, this isn't working. This is getting my people more, in a worse condition than they were in before.
Just bite them in the back, like.
Yeah, like, again, he had the right idea, to give the people back something that was taken from them.
Mm-hmm.
But man, the way out of debt just seemed like it was creating more debt. So I wonder, did he ever get out of debt?
Slightly different shade of green. The reverse sees the Kariba Dam, a gigantic curved concrete dam that straddles the border between Zimbabwe and Zambia, and sits at the northern shore of Lake Kariba, the world's largest man-made lake. There's also an African bush elephant, the largest living terrestrial animal, native to much of Zimbabwe in Central and Southern Africa. Finally, the 100 trillion again is almost identical to the 10 and 50, except in colour, and the number of zeros on this is again just absurd. The reverse features Victoria Falls, regarded as the world's largest waterfall, again sitting on the border between Zimbabwe and Zambia. The waterfall was named in honour of Queen Victoria, although many still know it by its indigenous name, the Smoke That Thunders. And on the right is a Cape buffalo, again found over much of Central and Southern Africa. In fact, both the elephant and buffalo can be seen on the banknotes of neighbouring South Africa. By 2009, hyperinflation had got so extreme that even $100 trillion were rendered completely worthless, giving the country...
Did he say 2009?
I didn't catch it, but he did say that the amount of money that was being, like, the money then was coming out as just worthless, that they have no value to it. And that's terrible for the amount that is being told it is, but it's
how
not
do
no benefit
people
to
survive? Like I don't... If it's almost worthless,
right?
What's the economy like?
Right. Let's just get it back to the beginning where the crops wasn't doing what they were supposed to do.
Right.
So, like, to get the money to literally have value, you need something to spend it on. And if you don't have little to nothing, then your money values depreciates.
I would love to see, like, how it translates into US dollars. Like, just a dollar. Like, is it still like this? Because we talking about 2009.
Mm-hmm.
That wasn't that long ago.
And I think they upgraded the banknotes as well, too.
Oh,
so
yeah,
it don't look the same like it did back then.
I don't know. I'm just worried about the people. Like, what was their home life like? Like, what was working like?
Yeah, working, definitely. Going out there and not having all the tools you need to make the food and the products, you know? That is tough.
Crazy.
That is tough.
No choice but to abandon the Zimbabwe dollar. Foreign currencies started being accepted instead, including the US dollar, the South African rand and the euro. And as a result, consumer prices finally began to stabilise. Today these currencies continue to be used. Once again, I just want to say thank you to Banknote World for sending me these for free, and I really hope you enjoyed the video.
No, I'm glad that,
interesting.
You know, I'm glad they were able to get saved.
Yeah, because it's like going downward. You know what I'm saying? It's a terrible thing because it's not just you do. Like, you look out your window and you see everybody is suffering. Everybody, like, so I'm guessing their hands was on money. Mm-hmm. They had the money, but they didn't have the products for it.
Right. I don't know. That just sounds like a bad way to take care of debt. Oh, I don't have the money. Let me make some money.
That's around the time where you probably would want to just save as much as you can.
Yeah. Or not. Yeah. Get rid of it.
I mean, because it went back to normal. So imagine had you had that amount still.
You saved it.
And then everything went back to normal. Maybe, I don't know how many years. You know what I'm saying? But everything went back to normal. You have all that income, then you can just really, feed your family.
Right, but this one was just puzzling. Like, I don't know, y'all.
That kind of, I don't know if you watched it with me.
Which one?
I don't remember the name of it, but it was a movie where the gentleman, he had to continue to hop on the back of a truck so he can go across the town or something like that to talk to a governor because the crops wasn't. I don't think you watched this one. I watched this one alone.
I'm thinking
the crops. It had nothing to do with the depreciation or of food and nothing like that. It's just the sun wasn't giving. It was drying out everything.
Yeah, I didn't watch that.
And the food that was coming across the countries and whatnot was very little to none. They wasn't feeding the people, so they wasn't getting helps from other countries.
Was it during the war?
I don't know.
He hopped on back of a truck.
No, it wasn't a war. But yeah, I'm gonna find it out and I'll tell you about it.
Was it the African movie?
It was an African movie.
No, you were talking about that war.
They had little to no food and people started robbing each other.
Are you talking about the genocide?
I don't remember the title. But
Hotel Rwanda.
Could be.
Yes.
Could be.
You talking about Hotel Rwanda?
Yeah, well, they had little to no food, and the people was robbing each other but they had the money.
Yeah, it was a genocide.
So whenever the food was coming in, everybody had the money to spend it.
Okay, when you say when the food came in, maybe.
Well, the food came in on a truck. It was rice, the food, and oats and stuff.
That was Hotel Rwanda. It wasn't nothing about no money. It was about.
It wasn't about the money. It was about war and shortage of food, and the son was drying out crops.
Survive.
The daddy was trying to stay outside. The daddy was trying to stay outside and work hard, and the son wasn't. You know what I'm saying? The son was out there trying to kill animals and stuff.
Kill animals? Yeah, you lost me, man.
And the mama was telling the son. The mama was telling the husband.
Not the mama.
The mama was telling the husband not to leave and go across because when the food comes, they comes and steal. And she was like, stay.
It sounded like Hotel
She was like,
Rwanda.
stay. And he was like, I gotta go. And when he left, the crops came, and then the son had to defend the family.
The son,
and he got everything taken from him. And then everything went back to normal, just like they said right here. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, I feel like you mixing two movies together.
I may be. You had me watch so much. I know I watched that one for sure though.
It was dark when he went to see the man, right?
It was dark.
Back to the video.
Oh, okay. Right.
We started talking about, and that's the beauty of the Demouchets React.
Yeah.
All right.
Again, look, if I can find out what movie it is, I'm gonna pin it in the description box down below. Y'all can go check it out. It was a good movie. It was a good watch. Okay. We could watch it too.
You don't know the name of the movie.
I know what it was looking like.
Okay. I think it's Hotel Rwanda. It was about the genocide. All the people in the hotel, right? It was a lot of people in the hotel. The white hotel.
You talking about when it was under the floor? And it was hiding? Back to the movie, guys. Back to the script.
No, that was a different perspective. You talking about the women.
Yeah.
That was a different perspective of the same war. That was a different movie.
Oh, yeah. That was a...
Okay. Back to the video. Our Zimbabwe supporters, we know that we do have a few of you on the channel. Let us know about your daily life. Let us know how that time, affected you and how is things now. You know? We'd love to know. Yeah. And let us know if y'all know the movie we're talking about. Like, comment, subscribe, turn on the post notification bell. We have enabled our super thanks as well as our join feature.
Check it out, you guys. You don't want to miss what's going to be coming up in those videos. So it's going to be highly interesting and very fun. And you guys play a big role in it too. So check it out.
Yes, definitely. So we hope to see you soon.
Peace.